Slightly overcast conditions greeted the players at the Golf PGA France de Vaudreuil for the opening day at the Vaudreuil Golf Challenge. The most recent winner here this week on the Challenge Tour is Ben Stowe. The Englishman not having had the rub of the greens on day one, he would finish with a 1 under par 70. The highest ranked player in the field on the road to Ras Al Khaimah is Welshman Stuart Manley. Already a winner on French soil this year, he sits just inside the top 20 on -2. The joint top Frenchman in round one was Victor Perez, a nice up and down at the 13th. He would finish at -3 in a tie for 8th. Belgium's Christopher Mcavoy was tied for second. He showed a good touch on the greens, holding a great par putt on the 16th. This would keep up his bogey-free day. Joining him on 6 under is England's Paul Maddy. Only 2 bogeys in round one and going out in 30 with some great birdies like here on the par 5 8th. But the man out in front is Richard McEvoy. The Englishman had a bogey-free 64, in which he finished with back-to-back birdies to give him a 1-shot lead. Mcavoy sits at the head of the field on what's a tight leaderboard after day one. Day two of the Vaudreuil Golf Challenge was again overcast with a threat of rain to come in the afternoon, but the players were eager to get going. Belgium's Christopher Mcavoy kept up his fine ball striking with a good approach to the 4th on day two. He would finish level for the day and 6 under par for the tournament. Scotland's Ross Kellett shot a great 2 under par 69 to get in the clubhouse at -7. He showed good spin control here on the 8th and would dispatch the birdie. The overnight leader Richard McEvoy continued his great play from yesterday, a 5 under 66 to add to his 64 on day one. The Englishman was showing great short game form with a fine up and down on the 10th. His impressive round meant he currently had a 4-shot lead. Unfortunately, the rain did come in the afternoon and caused a delay, which meant most of the late starters would not complete their second rounds. The nearest challenger to McEvoy was fellow countryman Paul Maddy. He'd be 2 under through his front 9 and will look to build on that tomorrow. Another player doing well before the rain was Jamie Rutherford. The Englishman had a quick start with 3 birdies in his first 7 holes. So here's a look at the leaderboard with half the field still to complete their second round. It means moving day will be a long one for some. Day 2 of the Vaudreuil Golf Challenge was completed early on Saturday morning, and it resulted in Richard McEvoy having a 5-shot lead going into moving day. Good weather had returned. It was time for round 3. Winner of the Golf Sixes earlier this year, Irishman Gavin Moynihan showed good skills with the putter. He had an up and down round with a 2 under 69 to be -9 in total. Englishman Jamie Rutherford started with 8 pars, but a great approach to the 9th led to his first birdie of the day. He would finish with a 68 for a 9 under par total. Flying the flag for the home nation is Frenchman Thomas Linard. Although it was a tough start with bogeys at the first 2 holes, he bounced back and finished with 3 birdies for a 4-under 67. Making up the quartet on 9 under par is Spaniard Rutherford. The 2-time Challenge Tour winner had a bogey-free 66. South African Oliver Becker is 1 shot further on a total of 10 under. He had 6 birdies in his round, one of which was the result of a sublime tee shot at the par 3 fifth. He sits alone in 4th place. Showing great shot-making skill, Scotland's Ross Kellett made an excellent approach to the 9th. With only 1 bogey on his scorecard, he goes into the last round in a tie for 2nd position. The best round of the day and week goes to Englishman Stephen Tiley. Having made the cut on the number, he made the most of his opportunity. A bogey-free 62 moved him up 30 places to join 2nd. He'll look to keep the momentum going in the final round. But the man who still holds the lead is Richard McEvoy. A patient start which included 9 straight pars to open up. He would have 4 birdies on the back 9 and finish with 2 in a row. He goes into the final day with a 4-shot lead. So the leaderboard confirms McAvoy's 4-shot lead and Tiley's great round. Poland's Adrian Meronk sneaks into the top 10 with a great 6 under 65. The players were greeted with blue skies and calm conditions on day 4 of the Vaudreuil Golf Challenge at Golf PGA France de Vaudreuil, with Englishman Richard McEvoy having a 4-shot lead. The title was his for the taking. With the final group teed off, the action was about to begin. Stephen Tiley was keeping up his great play from yesterday, and he gave the first blow against McEvoy on the opening hole. This great approach set up a birdie opportunity. But before he had the chance, McEvoy had a 25-foot birdie putt. He rolled it in to go to a 5-shot lead. Tiley could lessen the distance back to 4 shots, but the putt agonisingly drifted past the left edge of the hole. Much to the crowd's delight, Frenchman Thomas Linard hit a great approach to the 4th. The resulting birdie would get him back into double figures. Tiley reduced the lead by 1 at the 5th and will produce another birdie at the 7th after this putt managed to cut McEvoy's lead to 3. Away from the leading groups, Frenchman Antoine Rosner was making a charge up the leaderboard. 4 under par through 13 after this 2nd shot. He would finish tied 4th on a total of 11 under and be the leading French player. South African Oliver Becker arrived at the 11th with a score of -12. Unfortunately for him, he failed to get up and down with the resulting bogey, leaving him 6 shots off McEvoy and out of contention. The leader would birdie the par 5 8th to get back to a 4-shot lead, only for Tiley to birdie the 12th. McEvoy had a 6-foot putt for par on the 13th, which he would miss to cut the lead back to 2. The gap between Tiley and McEvoy was still 2 on the last, and the leader had a tricky chip to navigate for his 3rd. He showed great guts by getting it to within a few feet of the hole. Over to Tiley to put pressure on him, as he had a 30-foot eagle chance. Unfortunately, it just missed on the right side. A solo 2nd place after a great weekend for the Englishman. So McEvoy had a short putt for a 2-shot victory, which he took. A great wire-to-wire win for the 39-year-old. Spain's Rutherford finished in 3rd place on his own And other notable rounds came from Dutchman Dan Harzing and Scotland's Duncan Stewart. But it's McEvoy who's on top as the champion for the Vaudreuil Golf Challenge. The tour heads to Austria for the Banks Open next, so keep up to date on social media and challengetour.com.